Okay, ready?
Yeah.
And you guys are live.
Hey guys, so sorry for the delay. A little bit tech problem, but it's all good now. Hope everyone can see us very clearly. First of all, welcome to our virtual tasting. I'm Olivia Chan. I am a tea master at Treasure Green Tea Company. Next to me is Yoshihiro, who's one of our Treasure Green new team member, and I invited her today to join us for the virtual tasting. Now, Treasure Green Tea is a long-standing tea company. We started in 1981, started with my father in heart of Chinatown in Vancouver. And we've been bringing in premium tea and teaware all these years. My mission today is let's go through one of our tea collection. It's called Trio Supreme. Now, Trio Supreme is a you can say is can be a beginners, can be a tea that's I created to so you can have tea in the morning, in the afternoon, as well as in the evening. Now, morning, some people can do with go with green tea. So the organic Mao Jian, you can go with green tea if you are looking for health benefits. You're looking for to absorb more antioxidant. That would be a good one. But some people say, hey, I want eye opener in the morning. Here we go. This one is the Yunnan Mountain Black. So it depends what your lifestyle is. You can choose the tea, very different teas in the daytime, afternoon, and in the evening. Now, organic white silver needle is one of my favorite tea because it's ultra smooth and low caffeine, a great tea to have to end the evening. Okay, so my choice of two teas that I picked today to brew is the organic Mao Jian, and organic white silver needle. Now, they come in a little tin, so please get your water ready, your little teacup. Now, I want to talk about one thing here is that my brewing instruction on the tin is based on 250 ml, which is a mug of tea. What I'm doing here is a more traditional style in a smaller portion. So it depends again what your lifestyle is. But most important is the water temperature I want to talk about. So getting the correct water temperature, the timing of your steeping can add or minus. So that is easy to deal with. But if you don't have the right temperature, then you need to adjust a lot more in your skill brewing. So with the, I like to have some water to begin with. So everybody get your water ready, get your tea scoop and your cup ready, let's go. So since it's before noon time, let's start with the organic white silver needle because that one has the lighter flavor and what you can expect in this, thank you. So what you can expect in this tea is very delicate, sweet, smooth. It's gonna give you so silky smooth that a lot of time when you actually sip into a tea, you'll find it already slide down your throat. It's that silky. So now, water temperature. So water temperature, we're looking at about 80 degrees and make sure that you keep it 80, maximum is 85, but it depends what ware you're using. So I'm using glassware, which is recommended for a lot of lighter teas. But if you're using glassware, 80 is good enough. But if you're using, hey, a lot of people use porcelain at home, which is more general. Porcelain is more readily available, so then you can use 85, okay? Now, my water's ready, so what you do is, let's warm up our teaware first. Now, again, depending what you're using, a 250 ml or I have 150 ml tools here, so different amount of tea leaf. Now, 1 teaspoon is my recommendation. I just want to make it simpler, easier. If you have a tea scale, go for it. Do about 3.5 grams. If you don't, use a regular teaspoon. Do 1 heaping teaspoon for 150 ml would be perfect. If you are using a big mug, 250, you need to add steeping time. That's all. That's all you need to do. But you can keep it less leaf. It doesn't mean when you have a bigger tool, you want to add a lot more leaf. It does not work that way, okay? All right, so once we warm up, we want to dispense the water. Now you're ready to add your tea leaves in. Now I'm not going to measure it. I'm just going to dispense it with my tools because that's just a guideline for you. Perfect. Now white tea is very lightweight, so you want it when you put the water into your, either you're using a cup or using a teapot, you want to bring your water high, a little bit higher, because you want the water to actually push the leaf so it can penetrate into the water.
Always.
Okay, so those are the tasting cups that we're going to be using. So firstly, we are going to rinse our tea. Now, once you rinse your tea, if you're at home, now you can give it a sniff. Okay. Now, you want to warm all your tools up. That way, when you sip into tea, it doesn't drop the temperature too much. Now I'm ready to brew my tea. You want to bring your water. Now, this motion actually helps it. I'm doing a circular motion. If you're not used to it, just do what you're used to right now. So this is the first try. The reason I do that is to help the leaf to penetrate into the water. Okay, Yoshio. And this is my cup. Now if you're using a glassware, you'll find that the leaf is not penetrating too quickly, but that's okay. If you're doing a small portion, it's great that you're doing multiple infusion. Multiple infusion give you a lot more tea experience because the leaf is slowly opening up. Okay. So this one, I steep it roughly about 30 seconds.
Thank you.
If you're drinking with somebody, don't forget the tea etiquette. You serve your guests first. Hey, here's your first cup, organic white silver needle. So what you taste or smell firstly, there's almost like a honey note to it. When you sip into it, you should taste a lot of smoothness. Give it a smell and then go for your taste. Wow, it is very smooth. Now, this is, what do you find? Smooth? Very silky. Yeah.
Very smooth, sweet aftertaste.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Got a nice sweet aftertaste. Now, this is the first infusion. So you say, oh, this is fairly light. That's okay because the subsequent brews will give you more body, but it will remain to be smooth. Now, let's go for a second infusion. Again, I'm doing a circular motion when I pour, just because I'm helping the leaves to penetrate into the water. If you have any questions or comments, or you can post it online right now, or you can also post it on the comment below, so we can guide you through a little bit more if you have any questions. Okay, second infusion, a lot of people will ask, how long do I steep in my second infusion? That depends. Now, that depends on what? How do you like the first infusion? If you say, oh, I love the delicacy, I love the taste, so you actually want to decrease steeping time in the second infusion. Why? Because the leaf is just opening up. Second infusion will bring a lot more open up. So if you want to just have a little bit more taste, but not too much, so you want to just shorten the steeping time in the second infusion. So I'm doing another 30 to 40 seconds in the second infusion. Now this one, because I want Yoshio to taste more body and more texture in this brew. go. Again, give it a smell first. The honey nose still present, and then now you can sip. Now, the traditional way of sipping a tea is actually in 3 sips. Sorry. The 3 sip is that first sip you are tasting, you're smelling the aroma of the tea, and then you would go with the texture. Texture to anyone can be very different. Some can be light body, medium body, full body. Even this tea, some people who have a very delicate palate can say, wow, that's strong. So there's no wrong answer. Go with what it is to you. And then the third sip, where you finish the cup of the tea, is that you're looking for aftertaste. Now, different tea, of course, they provide different aftertaste. So this one, very prominently, you'll pick up a honey-like aftertaste, like a sweet note.
Yes, it does.
Cheers. How's that taste? You can send me comments or send me, what do you call that? That comes up right away. Obviously, I'm not a tech person. So what does come on the side that whatever your...
The chat box.
The chat box, okay. Tell me what you taste. Okay, so this one, you can definitely continue to brew. Now, a lot of people talk about, they love the 3rd infusion. Now, 3rd infusion, because the leaf, like I mentioned earlier, the leaf continue to open. So the 3rd infusion, when it's a lot more open up, you get a lot more flavor. So that one, so that way you actually, wow, now the texture and the flavor and also the aftertaste is a lot more prominent, and you can taste a lot more into the complexity of each tea. Now let's do the 3rd infusion. Now, typically, in more of a tasting in a group, or if you really want to analyze the tea, what it offers, then we would empty each infusion, like so. So we're not mixing 1, 2, 3 together. So we're actually doing one infusion. We're tasting just that infusion and what it offers. So I want Yoshio to really taste the 3rd infusion. And that's why I empty everything out. Now, you'll find the liquid is quite pale. Perfect. White tea do offer that color of tea soup. So that's the correct color. Now, I'm going to steep it a little bit longer, this one. Now, white tea, one nice thing about white tea, and why is it nice as an evening tea, is because it has no acidity, no tannin. So, it will, even if you steep it longer, it's not going to give you any bitterness. So that is the beauty of it. Okay, ready?
Yes.
3rd infusion. There we go. So again, see the color is a little bit deeper. So you will taste a lot more sweetness. A lot more sweetness should release at this time, at this brew. Don't forget to smell first. And then 3 sips. What's that 3 sips? Texture, aroma, texture, and aftertaste. So tip is actually that is, besides for your sensory experience, is that when someone's making tea for you, you need to show your appreciation. That means you don't bottoms up right away. You want to be appreciating it, the smell, the texture, and the aroma. How are we doing? How's everyone doing? Good? Perfect. So that can be set aside. Now we're going to move on to the next tea. Any question on this tea?
Jake Mace. They hold Tea Master Olivia.
Jake,
from yesterday.
Oh, hey!
Jake and Nicole are here.
Hey, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So that's the white tea. Like I said, this one high in antioxidant, easy drinking, high tolerance. That means even you overbrew it, don't worry about it. It's going to be drinkable. You can actually in Asia, in China, I should say, there are a lot of people just leave it steeping in their cup, and using lower temperature water and let it slowly infuse. A lot of people drink like that as well. Particular white tea because no acidity, no tannin, easy drinking. Now let's move on to our next tea. We're gonna go with the organic Mao Jian. Now, Mao Jian actually is very famous green tea in China. Organic is definitely one of the more people in demand kind of variety now, organic teas. Now, this one small leaf green tea, what you can pick up from this green tea is vegetal, a little bit of earthiness, and you can make it delicate, you can make it full body. It's all up to you. That's why brewing technique is so fascinating because it allows you to do various different things. I'm going to use a porcelain gaiwan. So again, use what you have there. And the water temperature is on the tin is 80 degrees Celsius. So we don't want too hot because green tea tannin can come in quickly if you use too hot of water. If you say, oh, I prefer more delicate, I prefer lighter, but I want the aroma, no problem. Mao Jian's gonna give you that. All you need to do is lower the temperature. So if you go into 70 degrees, 10 degrees lower, what you get is more delicate green tasting. But you still will get the prominent aroma from Mao Jian. So again, what we do, we warm up our teapot. Send me a message if I'm going too fast. I'm actually going, am I going too fast? No.
You're not going too fast, but Jake says, thank you for the amazing tea and experience at your wonderful Vancouver shop yesterday.
Oh, thank you. So wonderful. So wonderful that you made it on our live stream. Okay, let's maybe get some fresh water for me. That would be lovely. Now, your spoon. So the brewing instruction, I often say 1 teaspoon. It's just because it's more, not everyone has a little tea scale at home, and a teaspoon is like what you would do with like a sugar spoon, what they call a sugar spoon, I think. I use a bigger scoop, though this is called tea scoop. It comes in various different material. This one is brass, and I also sometimes use a wooden one like this. So if you don't have a scoop like that, then use the teaspoon that you have at home. So assuming not everyone has a scoop like that at home, that's why I use a teaspoon to make it easier for you. Thank you. Now, 1 teaspoon generally, again, that's about 3 grams of green tea. That's perfect for this 150 ml size. And why I use 150 ml? Because the traditional brewing mostly are based on this size of teapot or gaiwan. So let's go with that today. Again, just to recap a little bit, water temperature is one thing you need to pay attention rather than the size of the teapot right now, okay? That's it. Let's get started. So I'm rinsing, no matter what you're using, just rinse your tool, warm it up a bit. Okay, just warm up your tools. And once you warm up, you're ready to put your tea in. All right. And what do we do next? We rinse. Thank you. So you don't need a lot of water to rinse it because it is a delicate tea. Now I wanted to, again, help it to penetrate into the pot. So I do a circular motion. water in, water out, and that's how you rinse. You don't want to leave it in there to steep for too long. Now, during a tea ceremony, although I'm not doing that at the moment, not so much in details, but normally the tea maker would want to smell the tea. That actually gives you a lot of idea of how fast it's opening up.
We have a question.
Yes.
Very curious about your history and training in Zhonggongcha. When did you first begin studying tea, and it was from your father?
Yes, I started actually firstly when we always had tea when we were small. It's part of a family ritual. My father would drink tea every single day, every single moment. As a matter of fact, I do not even recall any time in my life that I've seen him drink water. That's why in the documentary in Chinatown, called Everything Will Be, I mentioned that it's funny to say, I can smell tea in my father. Like, he just smells like Iron Buddha to me. And yeah, so I was training under my father when we first opened the shop in '81, and then I moved back to Hong Kong, and when my father came over to do his buying trip, I would travel with him. And that was another part of training, to meeting all the farmers and stuff. And then when I came back to Vancouver, I decided to take over the business. I was at another level of training for my father. Okay, let's continue here. Now, you see that I'm not heating the water directly into the leaf. This is because you don't want the water to hit just that part of the leaves, and it will open up way too quick, too much, okay? So that's why you would want to do a circular motion around your teapot or gaiwan, whatever you're using, to ensure that the water goes down more evenly, that the leaves can open more evenly, so you get the texture and the taste that you expect it to be. Now, first infusion, what we expect, aromas very high. You will expect a little bit of earthiness, a little bit vegetal tone, no bitterness, no tannin at all released, because the leaf should not be open too much. I don't know if you can see it in the camera here. The leaf is still curled up together. Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about learning about tea from the farmers in China and on the trips? How do they make tea? Is it a little bit different?
Yeah. There you go. Traveling with the farmer, what they focus in is very different from a tea master or connoisseur. Tea farmer focus is how good the tea leaf produce, the soil, fertilization, the weather that they pray, oh please don't rain, or things like that, and how they would predict the weather, and then how they cover things, taking care of the crops and things like that. But in brewing tea, amazingly, I go there and I'm like, wow, they use super high boiling water, like hard boil, and they will pour to any tea, any direction, because they are not into they're not into the delicacy or like a different infusion. They just, because they're very used to drinking a very bold, strong bowl of tea, and that's how they're brought up. So I often, when I get there, I share different ways of how I brew, and then we share informations like that. And sometimes, and they, of course, we talk about terracotta in other videos. They don't know how to use terracotta either. They're not really into the art of brewing tea, but they're into providing clean workmanship of making the tea. So it's very different. They're very different people. In terms of in the culture of tea.
Wow, so interesting. 谢谢. Also curious, thank you, Jake, for using both languages and challenging me. Anyways, also curious, what are your 3 favorite teas to drink for taste/pleasure? And what are your 3 favorite teas for longevity and health?
My 3 favorite tea, wow.
Taste and pleasure.
Yes. You know, one thing I say, it's one of my sayings that don't be loyal to tea, be loyal to your tea merchant. It's because I don't fix in drinking one tea type. I like drinking tea really meant to be, in terms of health benefit, it should be a seasonal tea. They're seasonal because that's the best in that season. And also the weather changes, you would drink different tea to complement the weather. For example, winter gets very cold. I would tend to drink a lot more of a warming tea, particularly because I'm Southern Chinese, so my body is more adapted to more warming teas, such as Hei-cha is one of my favorite, pu-erh, cooked pu-erh is one of my favorite, white tea is my favorite, and occasionally black tea. And during the spring and summer, then I turn to green tea because green tea is not more refreshing. My body's not warmer, so I can use something to more to set my body in a harmony state. So when your body is in harmony, then you're in good health. Cheers. Okay, again, 3 sips. You want to do smell, texture, and aftertaste. What's the aftertaste?
It's very bold for this tea.
You find it bold?
Yes,
Okay.
but it's my favorite kind of boldness. Very strong aftertaste as well. And even the cup, like after drinking the cup, smells so nice.
Yes, actually, very good point. That's one way of enjoying the tea is smelling the bottom of your cup. Well, this one actually has a very sweet note to it. Okay, so now second infusion. I was actually, why I talk so much? It's because I want my water to be a little bit cooler. 2 ways you can do it. Two ways you can do it. You can actually empty your hot water into another vessel, or you can let it sit for a little bit longer. Why I want it cooler? Because second infusion. Remember, white tea, no acidity, no tannin, but this guy does. So if you don't care for that astringent aftertaste, so you want to decrease the water temperature. That's when it takes place. Now, when it's cooler, the leaf doesn't open up as much. There's so many different ways you can play with tea leaves. So it's amazing that, you keep trying, keep doing it, try different temperature. You'll find you almost feel like you're tasting another tea. Now, lower temperature, I'm going to skip it slightly, same time as last one.
What's your favorite tasting tea for taste?
Actually, my favorite tasting tea was the 1980 pu-erh that we have. That one is pretty amazing, and it's a cooked pu-erh, 1980. So it brings a lot of history, a lot of memory for me when I taste that tea. Second infusion. But I have 2 favorites, and the other favorite tea no longer available, unfortunately, was when I visited Yunnan, Xisan Bana in 2012. I met this farmer up in Nanluoshan, and I saw in his home that he's 5 tubes of pu-erh. So I said, what are those 5 tubes of pu-erh? And he said, he's saving those. They're specialty. I'm saving them for my kids when they get married. So I go, oh, but you only have 4 kids. Would you like to adopt me? So anyways, I got him into giving me that tube of tea. And it's one of the most phenomenal raw pu-erh I've ever tasted. It's complex, it's full, it's smooth, it lingers, and everything you want in pu-erh was there. And right now I only have partial cake of it, and I bring it out to share with people every so often. So if you happen in tea shop, hey, ask me.
Actually, is the 80s pu-erh the one I've had as well?
Correct.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
Yes.
That one's dangerously good, everybody.
Yeah. So thank you. So this is the and then the final one that we're not going to taste today, and this is the Yunnan Mountain Black. Very beautiful black tea from Yunnan. I picked this one because it's bold enough, it's more versatile. If you choose to drink it with milk, typically we don't, but hey, someday you feel like it, go for it, because this tea can offer that texture that you can add milk to. And if you want to drink it more delicate, again, just follow that instruction on the tin. It has a cocoa, like a malt flavor, aroma, and a very full texture flavor. Again, finished with a mild sweetness. Very beautiful tea and versatile. Great with pastry if you choose to have a little afternoon snack or in the morning as an eye opener. So thank you guys for being here and doing the virtual tasting with us. We have another tasting later on at 1:30 this afternoon. We are going to be doing our Yunnan Bing Dao pu-erh experience. We'll show you how to use the knife, and we show you how to taste it, both cooked and pu-erh. So come and join us again at 1:30. Go and have some lunch, and we'll see you shortly. Take care. Thank you.
I'm purposely leaving the live on so we can see Yoshi-Ho wave for longer.